Hello and welcome to Off the Shelf Reviews. It's Gaming Friday. I'm Gary.
I'm Geoff.
And today, Geoff, we're taking a trip back to 1992 on the Sega Mega Drive.
Alright,
We're playing Megalomania. Or Megalomania. Depends how you look at it. Depends how it's written. Sometimes the Mega and the Low Mania is separated, and sometimes it's all one word.
Okay, alright. I never heard of this game before, Gary, until you told me we were going to do Gaming Fridays with it.
Well,
I have heard of the developers, Sensible Software. Yeah, they were classics in my day.
Absolutely. Sensible Software, of course, made one of my favourite games ever on the Sega Mega Drive. You probably know what it already is, Geoff.
It's got to be cannon fodder.
It's cannon fodder, absolutely. It's one of the most memorable games. It was so fun and stylish and memorable, and there was nothing like it.
I love cannon fodder. It's flipping brilliant. I really like Sensible Soccer as well, because back in the day it was like, are you a FIFA man or a Sensible Soccer man? Before the days of... are you a FIFA or a Pro Evo man? And I was a Sensible Soccer man. I loved Sensible Soccer. It was really funny.
Well, it depended whether you were on the Nintendo or whether you were on the Mega Drive. So,
yeah, depending on what you get.
So this is it originally Megalomania, or Tyrants Fight Through Time, as it was known in America.
It
came out on the Amiga in 1991 and then was ported to the Mega Drive, or the Genesis, in 92.
Okay.
And this is it's an overlooked game.
Well, I overlooked it for sure.
So it is a real-time strategy.
Real-time strategy?
That you have 4 characters to choose from: Scarlet, Oberon, Caesar, and Madcap.
Right.
And for whatever reason, I always choose Madcap. He's cunning and deadly, and he's the controller of the blue people.
Like a bit of blue.
Yep.
Cool.
It doesn't really matter which one you choose out of the 4. Only the ones you don't choose will be your opponents for the rest of the game.
Alright, so there's no actual material difference between the factions.
The only difference is that on different islands, different characters will always go first on their placement for that island.
Okay.
So right now, I'm going to choose this island over here and have 2 opponents. We are in the first epoch. There are 9 epochs in the game.
Okay.
3 islands per epoch.
Right, okay.
You will also have 100 men, as seen in the bottom left corner. That is how many men I will take through the game. At each epoch, I will be given an additional 100 men. But of course, I will be spending these on each mission. So right now I'm going to hit Play Island, and I'm going to hope that I will be the first choice to place my men, which it has given me.
Oh, okay.
So right now I can assign as many men as I want to place. I will not get them back. They will be spent, but I will need to spend them in order to complete islands now.
Right.
There is a well-known bug or glitch with this game, which was published. I mean, this was pre-internet. But there was the Games Master magazine, I believe it was, had this game listed, and of course I'm curious because there was no passcodes. I mean, there's typically cheat codes can be entered in at the password screens or with a game genie. But with this game, it was a simple method of choosing how many soldiers you wanted, especially if you have first choice.
Right.
Choose where you want to place yourself, and then quickly come back and then deselect them and bring them all back. So I still now have 100 men in the corner, and I've deployed these 30 men onto.
So you cheated.
Well, yes.
That's a cheat. Yeah.
That is a cheat. I know. But what I will say, I mean, I'm going to defend myself, is that I have completed this game with the cheats. Yes, of course. Yeah. But I have also completed the game without the cheats.
Okay.
And I can tell you now, it is very, very difficult. It's an incredibly difficult game.
Okay.
It's one of those where you kind of have to learn which island you're going to play on, which square has the best resources, placing yourself there, and accumulating the best resource. Right now I'm up against the red and the yellow team.
Yeah, so your map is in the top left corner there. You got a big screen thing here on the right. What can you do on the big screen thing on the right?
Well, what's taking up 75% of the screen actually does nothing for the game. It is just there as a visual representation of this is my home base. When I build additional units, additional buildings, they'll appear there too. You can also tell just by looking at it what sort of epoch you're in, because even though I'm in 9500 BC,
Yeah.
I can still progress through time. But what's going on the right hand side is usually, it's just really a visualization of what's going on within the game.
Alright, so everything's controlled and manipulated on the left hand side then, yeah?
Absolutely. So I'll
Alright,
work
so
my way down.
You got your little men, you got a light bulb, a sword, I'm guessing those are a couple of logs, are they? It's telling you it's 9500 BC, so I guess you got, 23 cavemen?
I have 23 cavemen currently reproducing and harvesting wood.
Right.
The, the unassigned are the ones that are in the middle. Now, I have on the light bulb, this is where I can alter what I'm currently researching. And right now, my cavemen are researching how to use sticks as defensive weapons.
Okay.
There are 3 columns, as you can see. The left column is for shields, the middle column for defenses, and the right column for offensive, attacking weapons.
Oh, okay.
Once I have studied the stick, and I'm just going to show you now that I have 12 people assigned to it, and you can see the clock on the right is counting down. The more resources, the more humans I have on there, you can see each one I add sort of quickens the clock a little bit.
Alright, yeah.
But other than that, time continues to tick away. The guys in the middle, like I said, are reproducing, and they are also harvesting the wood. If I click on the wood stock, I can see that right now they've harvested up to 21 wood.
Okay. They got wood.
They got wood. Up here, you can see each shield. Each shield represents each of the house players.
Yeah.
You can form alliances with the other gods, if you will. Now, for instance, the reds are pretty close to me, so I'm going to ask Scarlet, just by clicking on the shield, whether she wants to ally with me.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I've just been interrupted. The yellow player's just asked me to join his side. So I'm going to say,
oh, we give you a little wink then as well.
I didn't respond quick enough, so I'm just going to ask him again. He agreed completely, but right now he is under attack by the red player, so we can just quickly go and have a look.
Okay.
And we can see that the red player has 9 cavemen versus the yellow's 10. So I think
so
because
fuck with each other right now.
Yeah. But I'm not going to get involved right now. I'm going to continue to research my wooden stick defenses.
Yeah.
Now, also up here at the very top, there is you can alter the passage of time. Right now, you can see these pretty stationary. You can go to the next step, and sort of mid-run, and then full sprint, which means time moves faster. Time doesn't move faster in terms of the 9500 BC moving faster. It just means the game is moving faster.
Okay, so is it, I mean that's a bit like what we just see play 2 arrows and 3 arrows, don't we, these days?
Yes.
Is it basically like those 3 settings, is it?
Yeah. It's like, for speed running. But of course, if you're a pro at the game, you'll find yourself speeding up time, and then when combat's about to ensue, slowing time down again.
Right, okay.
Now, I've just illustrated, I've just, my, with the light bulb symbol, I've just created, wooden stick defenses. Now, in order to produce the wooden sticks, I need to see how many resources it's going to use up. By just clicking on it, it's going to tell me that for every wooden stick, I need 1.5 pieces of wood. Okay. So right now, it's a pretty simplistic, because the only thing I can mine is the wood.
Yeah. Okay.
So now, in order to deploy my stick defenders, I can click on where it says OK, and it gives me that little icon. And it's pretty much the only time you'll want to come over to the other screen and then place your defenders in each of the corners of your building.
Okay.
When you have additional buildings, you'll be able to put defenders in those slots as well.
Right.
You can, of course, just decide to take men out of your reserves and drop them as defense, unarmed, in the environment as well. But whilst they're there, they'll do nothing.
Alright.
You can also quickly pick them back up and take them to another adjacent space and drop them off. Whilst they're here and they're unopposed, they will attempt to start building in that sector.
Okay.
But
so if you leave them there long enough and they stay alive long enough, you'll pop up another building.
But currently, you cannot build new buildings when you have an alliance with another player.
Okay.
So right now they will just be sat there. So I'm just going to bring them back, bring them in here to reproduce. I'm just going to say right now, this is a small kind of joke. In the in different instruction manuals around the world, different people have reported different phrases being used for how these men reproduce when there's only men.
Okay.
In some books, it says that these men are so clever that they have created a cloning device, so they can make clones of themselves. All the way back here when they've only just discovered how to use sticks and stones as weapons.
Even though they're in 9,500 BC.
They have cloning technology. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Sounds like they didn't want to say that they're fucking.
Yeah, it just sounds like they didn't want to say they were reproducing and bugging. I don't know how, but you guess it's multi-sex in there, you know?
Yeah,
men and women.
Well, you only get the men representation. You can assume there's some women floating around as well, I guess. So what is this 900,500 BC then? If you're speeding along time, but the 9,500's not ticking along, then what does that mean then?
It means what I need to do is progress my technology. The 9,500 BC is basically my technological level.
Okay.
Because other players can advance through time ahead of me, and so it is a race to learn your technology ahead of the other player, whilst also moving forward and securing new land.
So this is quite cool. I mean, I'm seeing, like, as you're describing this to me, I'm thinking, kind of reminds me of Civilization, and kind of reminds me of Command and Conquer, and kind of reminds me of Populous, like all kind of those three games. I'm guessing this is the granddaddy of all the subsequent real-time strategy / technology development strategy games, yeah?
I can't recall which order all of the games came out in, but I can definitely say this was one of the earliest, if not the first, real-time strategy game like this that I ever played.
Okay.
And for me, this was my gateway into eventually discovering Command and Conquer, the very original from Westwood Studios, and you know, that game and this game are just, for me, in the same sort of ballpark. And that's where my transition came from. And it goes all the way back to this game, because when I first got this game, I did not have a clue what to do. I'd been playing Altered Beast, Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, and then you play a game like Megalomania, and you're just like, who is this game for? Like, what am I doing? But before you realize it, you kind of get sucked in. The music just kind of keeps looping away. Your thought process, the more you spend time with it, the more you figure out what these small little icons do in the left corner. It becomes a very fun game to play.
So, I see you got a little castle now instead of just some sort of hut and a massive, dirty, great big hole in the floor. Yep. What's that all about?
Now, the big hole in the floor is that because I've advanced the technology enough, we've discovered that there is some solarium underground, so there is that is currently where I am mining it. I'm not technologically smart enough to build an actual mine yet. Right. But all the same, I am mining it.
They're going down there and digging it out with their hands,
and so they're producing the sun for me.
Well, at least
which none of my weapons right now... No, it's not unobtainium. I don't think unobtainium existed just yet. But just as a backdrop for what's actually happening in this game, I mean, there's no story whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I guess the opening dialogue of the game is that there are 4 demigods or 4 gods.
You're one of them.
You choose one of them to play as, and each one of them is in sort of friendly or competition, basically, to become the one god throughout time on this shard in space somewhere, which is similar planet.
So it says that's why I'm getting flavors of Populous from it, you know. Like,
indeed,
it's definitely like competition of the gods.
So what I'm going to do now is just speed up time a little bit, build up a few soldiers. I'm going to see how many of these spears I can make. So the best thing to do is just check the blueprint.
You're in, like, Rome era.
And how much is it to make my pikes? It's 1.5 suns to make my pike.
1.5 solariums.
Solariums. So right now I can only make a few, but that's still going to be good enough.
But that's for 4, isn't it?
I can build 5 of them right now. No, these are all offensive.
Oh, right,
I can also build the rest as catapult men, and because I'm going to be aggressive, I'm going to send my entire squad out, and we're going to go and attack Reds right away. And we just demolished her. I forget I am on super fast time.
Yeah.
And so now I guess Yellows is kind of bricking it in the corner as I slowly march my 65 troops.
Alright, destroy!
Straight in there. So at slow time we can see how much this takes. And again, in the top left corner you can see the small numbers up there representing that I picked up 3 unarmed men, possibly from the Reds. After you destroy an enemy base, you can capture.
You can capture some people.
Yep.
Cool.
But I mean, this is one of the first maps, so it's pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward. Because it is Epoch 1, you can only progress time to a certain extent. As you can see now as well, even though I destroyed the last yellow base, he had some survivors, some stragglers, which he's run away with, which he's now attempting to rebuild a new base. So I'm going to quickly go in there and chase him down and crush him.
StarCraft AI quickly running away and trying to rebuild a new base.
Yep.
They never give up either.
Yep. The AI sometimes can be, like I said, you can go into alliances with them. They can sometimes break alliances and then nuke you.
Right.
Or sometimes there will be your companion throughout, most of the islands.
Okay.
Okay, so that was, an island on Epoch 1. We're gonna take a quick break. I'm just gonna load in Epoch 5.
Okay. Right, so 5th Epoch, eh?
Indeed, and as you can see, my progress so far on the 5th Epoch is only 334 men, so that you can see that I have not been cheating on this playthrough. I have not been cheating on this playthrough, no.
Okay.
I just wanted to highlight it to you because because so many people have never played this game or will not play it. I just wanted to show them that there is a way for you to still be able to enjoy playing through this game with using that method, because you'll still be posed with the challenge of the fact that you won't always get to choose where you go first on an island.
Right, okay.
So you won't always be able to do that.
Okay, so first of all, straight away, I noticed there's 3 islands in this epoch as well. So has every epoch got just 3 islands?
Every island has 3 epochs, and
every epoch has 3 islands, even.
Yes, indeed, yeah. You can see that my brain is already focused on the task at hand, which is So right now I'm going to try and play it safe. I'm hedging my bets. I'm only placing 30 soldiers or 30 men in this area, which means I now have to be very careful with how I'm going to assign my troops.
Alright.
So right now I'm looking at what tech I can get and a shield to start with. It's not very good.
This map's a lot bigger then, is it? Are all the maps a lot bigger as you go up the epochs?
There are bigger maps than this one. There are also smaller maps in this one. You can have occasionally matches which are just one tile each, and so your only movement is into the other player's tile. There are also, as you move further into the epochs, there are islands which are totally separated from all other areas. So the only way to travel to other locations is by plane.
Oh, so you have to develop the tech up before you can take them.
Indeed, yes. And so that does change the dynamic quite a lot.
Okay.
Because it means you have to choose to get the right tech. And like I said, you could choose a starting location which has nothing on it. In which case, the only way you're going to beat your opponents is by outnumbering him and just rushing him right at the start. So there are some situations in which the game is going to try and screw you over.
So you won't know if you've got any resources on the square you choose, I guess. So.
No, but thankfully every playthrough is nigh on the same in terms of which island has what resources on what tile.
Okay.
That's where the only importance comes from, being when you choose where your placement is on the island. Right. You are smooth sailing if you have first choice, because A, you can get all your men back, and B, you can put yourself in the best spot where the best resources are.
Right.
But that comes from replaying, the same islands and replaying the game.
Got to fail it a couple of times
to know what's around the corner. Yeah.
Okay, so alright, so already we got a lot more arrows, a lot more things. Oh, we got a new building there as well.
I've just built a factory, which unfortunately hasn't increased my technology. I'm now going to get to work on the mine. I'm going to start
can't choose where it goes, I
some
take
planetarium.
It just
exactly.
Down.
Like I said, over here you have no real choice of what's going on over here. It's just a visual representation of what you're doing over here on the left side.
Okay.
So right now I did just make a temporary alliance with the yellow player, which I think is Oberon.
Yeah, he's closest to you, so you can use him like a little wall. Little shield.
Hope that...
Operation Human Shield.
Right now it looks like... Well, I've also at that point also stopped yellow from colonizing anywhere, but right now green is building over there.
Right, yellow keeps jumping around all over the place. Left and right of you, left, right. What's he doing? Doesn't seem to know what he's up to.
I don't know. I
We
mean,
just
that
switched it
is
around.
sometimes the AI does just do random things like that. Sometimes they will just go somewhere and hunker down until they've built a new settlement there.
Right.
Other times they'll just wander around
like
and
that.
aimlessly get into combat with
They
each
wanna
other.
fight with green up there. are
Well,
they?
yellow's got
Yeah.
a big number, 32 against. Yeah, they're all just cavemen, no weapons at all.
Right.
Even though we are in 1400 AD.
Okay.
But like I said, every time everyone starts at basic and everyone is working.
Let's have a look at their settlements. So they got castles like you.
Let's see if they have. Oh, he has additional buildings. But yep, none of them have jumped further ahead in time than me yet. Okay, so now, okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna start building the shield in the hopes the new technology will be around the corner.
Right. So you've had a bunch of people.
Well, you remember I started
yeah,
at 30 and already I've nearly at 50 people.
Yeah. They're shagging like mad. Yeah, you could definitely need more on the. So you got to put more on the light bulb to get the research done quicker.
Indeed, yeah. And every time you can go over there, you can just look at that clock and it'll give you a rough idea as to how long it's going to be until I'm ready. Okay, so we've got at least some. I could change now to the new technology. I'm just going to. It's better tech, and unfortunately, it's going to reset the timer. But I often or not, just as a tip for players, I very rarely build shields. They kind of become necessary later on to start manufacturing shields, especially when you get to the later epochs when the enemy have the option to fire nuclear missiles at you.
Right.
Unless you build nuclear deterrents, you will not shoot down the nukes and you will be nuked into oblivion.
Oh,
That
nice.
happens pretty much around the 7th and 8th epoch in the game. After the nuclear weapons, you also have UFOs and fighter jets surpassing biplanes and
Cool.
foot soldiers and laser guns.
Yeah.
So
lasers.
it is quite exciting. It's one of the It's one of the things I enjoy replaying the game for, is just moving through all the different epochs, just like I do in Civilization nowadays. Just watching your technology advance in front of you and having those unbalanced battles where you have, UFOs coming in and bombing the living hell out of a bunch of cavemen throwing stones at you. It's very entertaining.
Yeah. Okay. So
one
pretty
dynamic
crazy, pretty out there.
that I do really like about the game, though, is like I said, you do have the finite amount of men that you can deploy on every mission.
Yeah.
When you get close to the end of the game, during the 8th epoch, on the last 3 islands, you have an opportunity to cryogenically freeze your men, which removes them from the game, which you still need to win,
Yeah.
but it reserves those men for the 9th and final epoch, which you will have a fight on, I believe, just one island, which is called Megalomania Island.
Alright.
And whoever cryogenically froze the most men on the previous epoch will all fight it out, and obviously not the one with the most is going to win that battle.
Okay.
So
probably.
you do it, so you can have failed runs at this game, get so far and realize I haven't got enough men left to even win this match, yet alone freeze a bunch of soldiers to go on
Right.
to survive the nuclear fallout, basically.
Right. So everybody's gonna get nuked at the end of 8.
Yes, and
Okay.
if you haven't got men cryogenically frozen to wake up and carry on afterwards, it's game over, failed run. You start again, start the game again.
Wow.
That's kind of a fun thing, though. I mean, are we not seeing that more and more in games today, especially in indie games?
Yeah, the whole
Permadeath.
permadeath and
Yeah.
fuck you, start again. Yeah, it's good, man. What is a game if it's not a challenge? Like I hate this dumbed down shit where it's like, oh no, don't worry, you can't die, you won't get punished for being shit. I like a game that is a challenge personally. So
Don't want to be you don't want to be handheld.
No.
And that's to say, I mean, obviously this game when it came out on the Mega Drive had an instruction manual, but it as a child, like I said, going into this game, it was pretty hard to grasp what was going on. But now the replayability is also in the smoothness and simpleness of that interface. Because when you look today at something like Civilization and you look at the millions of options that you have,
Yeah.
it's great. Don't get me wrong, it
Huge
is
skill
great.
trees.
But this is, I guess, now an arcade version of, the simplified origins of those those greats.
Well, maybe a mobile game. It seems like this would be a great sort of thing to come in as a mobile game.
It's good that you should say that, because there is still today a Mega Drive portable device. Plus, you can also pretty much, I'm sure now, get Sega Mega Drive games on your Android phones or tablets or anything else.
Yeah, you can get emulators, can't you, on your Android?
So this is a perfect game for playing on the bus when you're traveling or when you're going from A to B. It's a good little brain puzzle teaser as well, and it is rewarding difficulty. I will say that the music is really good. Yes, it loops endlessly, but there is enough variation to it, and it does it makes you aware of time passing, and before you do realize it, time has passed quite a lot, and you realize you're at the 5th epoch.
Yeah. So, it's pretty classic. I guess it's like one of those things. So, obviously you're enjoying this because this was a part of your childhood. Like, you can remember this when you were growing up, and when you like get it out again, you're like, oh yeah, I love this game. But if you're say, a kid coming along, you're like, I don't know, between the ages of 16, 25, you don't even really remember the Genesis or the Mega Drive, whatever you want to call it, and you're like, well, what should I play? Major League games like League of Legends or StarCraft.
If you're 16, Geoff, I would recommend you go and play Call of Duty or Halo or
say you're a real-time strategy kind of mind, and then you got StarCraft, or you got Civilization 5, it's a great game as well. Like, what would bring you to this game, really? Like, what would there be?
It's the charm of this game, it's the humor that's also been put in there, and in the very limited but also very awesome small little bits of voices that come up. You kind of when they're very memorable catchphrases. When you've been nuked, the little announcer tells you you've been nuked. There's the characters of the voices of each of the characters when they ask you to come onto their side, or when they call you names during the fight. It's I guess if you're also a fan of Sensible Software and you want to see where they came from, especially before they went into Cannon Fodder and Sensible Soccer. So Red wanted an alliance, which means I can't build anywhere else, which is fine.
At least you got 2 squares now.
So right now, at this second location, I'm repopulating or reproducing here, whilst over here I continue to farm and make more catapults.
Yeah, it seems to be like a real kind of, like I say, it's the granddaddy, isn't it? You can see how so many other games, really, they should all be doffing their cap and sending honours to this game.
Exactly.
Because clearly this was where it
from.
Started. Yeah, where it began.
Okay, we're seeing a little bit of visual tearing in.
Hey!
It is
nice.
This did happen on the original Mega Drive game, but it is sort of happening here on a ROM.
It's emulated its bug as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So who are you fighting? Oh, what's happened? Is that just like the map's disappeared or something?
No, what I've done is I've moved the cursor over to the screen so that I can see how many catapults I have. I have 8 over there currently.
Right.
And he has nothing in defense whatsoever.
Nice.
So it should be an easy victory here. Of course, my second settlement is now upcoming. Start building a factory. I seem to be having a fairly easy time of it here. I do promise that the difficulty can be frustrating, and like I said, it's rewarding once you do get to the end and have a successful playthrough.
Yeah.
So, yes, there are all these new and amazing games to play, but I get the point. I get fatigued with AAA titles, and every so often it's either I'll jump and play an indie game, or I'll jump back and play something retro. And this is one of the ones I always go back to. I don't know whether it's the music, just the simple gameplay, the rewarding nature of it. It's just, it keeps me coming back. So I have a nostalgia for it, but I also think it is one of the greatest Sega Mega Drive games that just got shamefully overlooked. Recently, Mega listed it as the 34th best Sega Mega Drive game.
No, right,
so
okay.
it is getting some of the attention it deserves all these years later. Of course, Sensible Software kind of have become pretty much cult status in the games industry as well.
Yeah, sure. It was two guys, wasn't it? John Hare and Chris Yates, apparently.
That's right.
I don't know what they went on to do, though.
Chris Yates didn't particularly go on to do that much more. He doesn't even have a wiki page.
Right.
John Hare did continue and is continuing in the games industry today. He also is a music composer as well. But none of the games are really AAA games. A lot of them are actually mobile phone games or Android games now.
Right. So he's taken his old skills and kept him going with seen his market then.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Well, so you recommend this game then, Gary?
I recommend this game. It's really rewarding. It's really satisfying. There's definite replayability. There is a cheat code, like I've shown you, that you can do just if you want to go for an easy playthrough, which you will. Again, you'll still have some challenging runs because you won't always pick first on every island.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Well, I mean, to me, it looks like it would be like if you're looking for a mobile game that's a bit different, try this one, because at least it's not paywalled like some of the ridiculous mobile games you get these days.
Exactly.
You're gonna get a full game.
Alrighty, so I just want to say thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next Friday with another video game. Of course, film reviews going up every Thursday. Check back in tomorrow and listen to Ian, who's doing a 1-hour episode of Sequential Saturdays, flying solo once more. So check back and listen to what Ian's got to say. You can always find us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Patreon. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Take it easy.